Peace. Good day, good people. It's your girl, Morgan Renee Myers, checking in with you all to give some communication tips that have been coming to me through interactions. I'm active in the community, and I've just been having some interactions with people lately that made me think, I think I should share this observation with the people. So here we go. I got my notes so that I don't forget. I came to you today to talk to you guys about using your throat chakra. And for those that don't know, there are 7 key energy points. There are more that extend above and below us, but just in general, starting from your pelvic region, you have the root, then you have your sacral, then you have your solar plexus on your stomach, you have your heart chakra, your throat chakra, your third eye chakra, and then your crown chakra. You can do more research about those and what all they do and what those houses represent. But with the throat chakra, that's more in alignment with your communication and how you are able to, I guess, speak on things. And sometimes it can be active and sometimes it can be overactive. And so a lot of what I'm about to share with you, I do too, and or have done. And so I know from experience as I'm learning and growing through it or have been through it. And so I want to talk about both extremes, not utilizing it all and then overusing it. So I'm gonna give some examples that have been happening as of late. So I want to encourage y'all with your throat chakra, speak up for yourself, okay? Some people won't know how to cater to you or how you operate if you don't let them know, or they won't know that they're in the wrong or that they offended you or that you have issues with what's going on if you don't speak up. And speaking up doesn't mean that you have to be rude or brash unless the moment kind of calls for it. I feel like there are some moments where you got to be stern and you got to let people know this ain't it. And then there are other moments where you could just let somebody know directly without being rude that, hey, this is what I like or don't like or will I want to accept, okay? So an example I had recently, I did a rant video because I was kind of triggered. I was standing in Roses and the line was super long. There was only one cashier. Nobody was saying anything about it being long other amongst themselves, you know, being like, oh, it's old. And don't nobody want to come back to work. I'm not about to stand here and talk with y'all all day about why nobody else is open to register. So I went and asked the young lady to call someone up there. She did. They came up there acting like they didn't see the line, like what's going on, how can I help you? You can open up a line, sir. And so the person behind me, older woman, was just like, yeah, I'm glad you said something. Yeah, because I use my throat chakra. So that's just an example of how even in moments like that, or there are other moments that you may be in where it's like, hey, I need to speak up on this, or this isn't right, or this is taking up too much time and this problem could be rectified. Basically, I'm a solution provider. So if there's a problem that I know I or the people around me have the ability to solve, I'll go for it. A lot of us be so caught up in waiting on that one person to do something before we do it. Sometimes we have to be that one person and can't wait on somebody else to come save us. At least I'm not going to do that if I can help it, okay? So that was one example. Another example of speaking up for yourself, there's a local business who won't be named, whose name I've been saying wrong for months. And I love this business. I promote this business. I call this business out when I see them, and it's been wrong. I recently heard it pronounced correctly from someone who helps run the business. And when I seen them, I was like, why you ain't told me? I've been saying it wrong the whole time. So something as minute as that, like we're in community with one another. I have a pet peeve about my name not being pronounced right. My business is not Moremy, it's Moremy, Morgan Renee Myers, Moremy. And I will explain that as many times as need to be explained. And just in general, I'm big on names and knowing names, especially because I do so much promoting local businesses. I want to make sure I'm saying y'all names correctly. So again, if we're not speaking up for ourselves and our businesses and who we stand for, people are not going to know. All right. And my last example, which was actually a positive example that kind of threw me for a loop, happened today. I'm going into the grocery store and some lady is like calling me like, hey, and she's trying to sound like sorry not to bother, and I do kind of got the face on like, what do you want? Like what you need help with? Because she was just like, can you come help with my car? I'm thinking she's asked me to help her push her car, and I didn't feel like being inconvenienced, so I kind of was just like, oh, I don't want to help you push your car. But what it was she was parked crazy and couldn't get out. She was trying to basically turn out and go about her day, and couldn't. And so she asked me to like get in and back in for her. I guess she seen me pull in and looked like I had a little know-how, and she told me, she said, I'm a new driver. So then I kind of softened up and I was teaching her as I was doing it, and I let her know If at any time you get nervous on the road, or you're going the wrong direction, or you're not backing out properly, slow down. Don't rush. You can honk your horn and let people know that you're coming or you're lost, and you can put your hazards lights on. I'm not going to get into the rest of that. I'll do a separate video about that interaction. That was awesome. But that was a positive example of her using her throat chakra and speaking up for herself, because she could have stayed there stranded. And maybe she did. My bad, had to delete some apps, phone got full. But let me hurry this up. I was saying that the African lady may not have, she might have let a few people pass by before she decided to speak up and ask me, or maybe felt comfortable asking me, whatever. But that was a great example of utilizing her throat chakra and speaking up. And then lastly, I want to talk about an overactive throat chakra. Sometimes we are very much talkative and can speak up for ourselves and go for the go, but sometimes we're not actively listening, and so that kind of defeats the purpose of being able to do all the talking if we can't also receive the information that we're trying to get. So I've had a few incidences recently where people have been speaking to me, and then they're speaking for me. Now granted, I can talk too, and like I said, some of this stuff applies to me or has applied to me, so I know what it's like to be on the other side of talking incessantly and talking over people and trying to finish their sentences. And I also know how it feels to have it happen and then you feel like the conversation has gone nowhere. So an example that I had was I was in Staples trying to get some business cards, and there was another young lady in there as well. And as I was leaving out, she was like, hey, you know, great marketing. She saw I had a hair wrap on. She's a cosmetologist, let me know that she do hair, asked me a few questions, told me to follow her. She wished she had her business cards, follow her on her Instagram or whatever. And so I'm doing that, and then I think I may have asked her a question, or she asked me what I do and I told her or whatever, and then she just was like talking over me as I'm telling her. I was like, yeah. I was like, okay. And I do a lot of events in the area, and as I'm saying that, I didn't even get to tell her what I do. The next thing I was going to say is, it would be great if you came out to network amongst some of the people I know to let them know about your products and services. Couldn't even get that out. I said, I do events in the area. Oh yeah, I follow back too, and I'll be sure, yeah, I'll make sure I come out. Sis, shut the hell up. Then there was another one. I went to a pawn shop, and I was just trying to get a little computer or whatever, and the lady was asking certain stuff about what I got going. She said, what do you need it for? I said, nothing much, to download this and do that. I do lives and stuff, and I'm an author and a poetry. And she was like, oh, you where you do events at? You do them downtown? Like, a lot of people do that. I notice with a lot of women, a lot of time we'll ask a question and then we'll answer it, because we're so busy always assuming and coming up with a story in our own head. And so this is just a message to kind of help you guys be aware of that. Make sure that if you do have an overactive throat chakra and you don't have a problem speaking up for yourself, that you're speaking up and you know what the hell you're talking about, or you have enough gumption to be able to know when to listen, and listen, not to respond, but to understand what the person is saying. Okay, so that's just my little quick tips and observations on communicating and opening your throat chakra, excuse me, and speaking up for yourself. Hope this was helpful. If it was, let me know. And if you want to send some love and energy in exchange for mine, drop that cash app, money sign MOREMY 1990. All right, appreciate y'all. Peace.